Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Sophie and I'm the founder of a brand called Agnes LDN. And today's video is going to be another video of me just chatting to you the whole time. A couple of weeks ago, I posted a video on here about how to start a brand and it seems really popular. So I thought I would follow up with another video along that theme and kind of growing from the last video. And today's video is going to be my tips for growing your brand. So Agnes LDN isn't massive, okay, but it has grown a lot over the past few years, and that was somewhat organically, somewhat things that I've tried to do along the way to grow it. There were definitely times where I've invested more time and energy into growing the brand, trying to get more followers, trying to get more people signed up to my mailing list, trying to reach more customers. And there's been times where, because I'm a solo founder, I work on my own and I do everything, that I haven't been able to put so much energy into that. I've put together a few tips of things that have worked for me in the past and that I've observed other brands doing as well and seems to have worked really well. If you like videos like this, or if you're wanting to start a brand and you're enjoying this video, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And if you are another small brand, leave your name in the comments box below and we can all follow each other and support each other. Okay, so Agnes LDN, if you watched my previous video, you know that I started Agnes LDN in 2018 and we are now in 2021. So a couple of weeks ago, I hit the 3-year anniversary or birthday of the brand. In this day and age, it's very hard to start a brand without being on social media or being on Instagram, especially with at the moment when we're doing so much online. So some of these points that I have for you today in this video definitely just build on from the points I made in the last video, and some of them are just kind of new ones that I thought of. So let's get started with the most important one, and that is your mailing list. So your mailing list is arguably your most important method of reaching your customer, because you send them an email and you are straight into their inbox, and obviously whether they choose to read it or not is out of your control. But if you can do things like catchy headings, titles and things like that, and professional looking emails, then you are literally direct to their laptop, to their phone, whatever, you're straight in there. And you can start building this before you even start your brand, and you can grow this as you go on and on. My tip for you is to have sign up incentives for your mailing list. So say for example you're a personal trainer, you could give away a really short snappy ebook for people that sign up to your mailing list, an ebook of workouts, or if you're a nutritionist or something, you give away a small like 10 recipe ebook, and then people are getting something, they're getting a taster of what you can offer them, so they're probably more likely to click on your emails in future. But also you're growing those list of names on the mailing list. And what's great about mailing lists is no algorithm is going to change that for you. You will always end up in those people's inboxes. If you're a brand, you could offer discount. I know like a vintage brand that offers, if you're signed up to their mailing list, you find out first of all when her new stock goes online. So obviously she sells out really quickly, so you can get it before anyone else. So yeah, just think of what incentives you can give people. Other tips for your mailing list are have professional, easy to read emails or newsletters. You know, offer someone something through your newsletter, and catchy titles so people click on them. Think about what day and time you're going to send out your mailing list as well to get the most people viewing it. I think there's definitely information on this online. There's loads of like kind of analytics into when's the best time to post onto what social medias, when which kind of target groups are online the most. So do a little bit of research and figure out when's the best time for you to be sending out those emails. For example, you don't want to be sending out an email on Monday morning because a lot of people are going to be too busy to look at it at that time. But maybe you catch them on like a Tuesday or Wednesday lunchtime when they're sitting down to have their lunch and they are actually catching up with their emails or scrolling or looking for something to read. That was a really big one. I guess that one's just mailing lists. I'm going to start off with the free ones as well. Obviously your mailing list is a free one. It may cost you to give away something as an incentive for your mailing list, so think about what it's worth to you to grow your mailing list. Next up, this kind of goes for all social media, all like everything to do with your brand. And my next tip is going to be connect with your audience. Be authentic. Show them that there is a person behind the brand. Show them that you're passionate about this brand because X, Y, Z. Have you developed a skincare company because you suffered from something in the past and you found that this is really something that's helped you. You know, what is your backstory and how can you engage people and bring them on your journey by sharing your backstory as well. People really like authentic brands and brands that are truthful and honest with them these days. You know, we are moving away from those big brands that kind of don't tell us anything and like keep all the information secretive. And as much as you can, without giving too much away, share your behind the scenes. So say for example, if you're a fashion brand, you could share the behind the scenes of your fittings or something like that. You know, show people your process as to how you get to where you are. A massive thing at the moment with fashion brands is sizing and being inclusive in a range of sizes. Like, be honest and open with your customers and be like, look, maybe we're not there yet, but we're trying to get there, and kind of show them the journey that you are going on and you're planning on going on. But my point is, just bring people on that journey, make them feel engaged. Use like things like question boxes on Instagram and the poll boxes on Instagram as well to get customer feedback, and you will find that people will be drawn to you and drawn to your story. Another point that I had, which kind of goes into that, is growing via word of mouth, using customer experience and reviews and things like that to grow your brand. Christmas time is a great time for this because a lot of people are buying gifts for their family members and will talk about their gifts, will tell them why they brought it, etc. So really think about your customer experience. Are you writing little like personalized handwritten notes to go in your packaging? Is that something you can do? Can you encourage your customers to give you reviews so other customers know that when they are shopping with your brand that it's been well reviewed and so your brand is trustworthy? Being on these marketplaces is also a great way to grow as well, because people will be typing keywords and your products will pop up in them. So make sure customers are having a great experience and they will talk to their family and friends about it. And I know word of mouth is such an old-fashioned way of marketing, but it does really, really work. And obviously it has quite a slow growth to it, whereas like a sponsored ad or something like that might have a much bigger growth, but it might be a kind of a longer term consistent growth. So that is, and you will find that you will get much more loyal customers that way. Okay, so in my last video I talked about networking, and not just networking with your customers but networking with other brands as well that have similar interests to you. And I'm going to circle back to that as well, and connecting with other like-minded brands, sharing their work. They might be inclined to share your work, being supportive of other brands, and by doing that, like, people will find you through other brands. So yeah, connect with like-minded brands, establish good relationships with them, and maybe you could run a giveaway in the future. Something that has been really effective for me in the past and has got me like 2,000 extra followers has been running giveaways with brands bigger than myself, or like when you do like a big giveaway where there's like 10 brands involved and where you're all sharing it at the same time and participants have to follow all the brands involved. So giveaways can be really good for growing. Equally, there's times I've done giveaways on my own and things like that and I've had minimal growth. So think about the value of your item you're giving away. Can you afford to lose that item if you do not get any growth out of it? Weigh up the benefits and the risk. Okay, so I guess giveaways, although possibly don't cost you anything, will probably cost you the price of the item you're giving away, the item or service that you're giving away, and the postage, whatever. So in a way, they do cost you and aren't completely free. So my next point, which again, you may want to think about once you've grown a little bit and you've started to make a bit more money to get you to that next level, to invest a bit more money in. And you don't have to do this straight away, but my next point is going to be think about gifting and paid advertising. So let's just really briefly talk about the difference between the two. So gifting is where I send someone a product like, hey, do you want to try out this product? They'll be like, yeah, cool, like send it to me. And I send it to them for free. They don't pay me anything for the product. I don't pay them anything for the product. And then they are not obliged to post about it. They are not obliged to post anything in particular. They, if they liked it or didn't like it, they can be completely honest if they do post about it. And they just have to put that it has been gifted. But yeah, so I can send them an item. It hasn't cost me anything, it just cost me the cost price of that item and then the cost of sending it to them. So they may post about it and say, hey, yeah, look, I really like this product that I got sent. Their followers may find my page through that. Sometimes that massively pays off and you get a massive boost in following or a massive boost in interest. And you do kind of have to target who you are gifting products to. If you are a vegan food brand, for example, then maybe you wouldn't gift to someone who never posts about a vegan lifestyle or only talks about makeup or something. Like, you may still get a uptake of growth from that, but it's less likely that their target audience and your target audience are going to be the same people. So you want to grow your target audience as much as possible. So looking for people that have similar target audiences to you or to the audience you're trying to reach is really important. So paid advertising is where you say to someone, hey, I have this new product, I'd love you to advertise it on your page, talk about it, blah, 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 and they will let you know what their fees are. So a lot of influencers and social media content creators have a press pack that they will send you, and it will say like one post, £200, X amount of stories, however much money. So you can decide how much budget you want to put behind marketing that product. And they will also probably include in their press pack their engagement, etc. So you know what you are likely to get out of it. So if I was sending someone an item worth £5 and I was paying them £200 for a post, I would want to know that I could sell a heck of a lot of those items to cover the cost of paying for that advert. And it will vary. You can contact agencies that have a lot of content creators on their books, and they will probably be able to link you up with the content creators who are most suited for your product or would be most interested in receiving and reviewing them. I guess paid advertising is really good because you are supporting a content creator and that is how they make their money, rather than just doing sponsored ads where you're just giving the money to these big social media platforms. And especially if like they've got a vibe that you like or an aesthetic that you like, then you can benefit from that as well, and you can find out if you can use their pictures afterwards or not. So that was a really, really vague explanation of advertising. Yeah, if you do have some budget, then maybe paid advertising is something to look into. Otherwise, gifting is also a great option as well. You just, again, you have to weigh up the risks and the benefits to how much you're going to get out of it. Then following on from that, let's talk about ads and promoting products as well. So this is another way you can grow your business, but it does involve some kind of investment, and quite often it involves some kind of knowledge of your target audience and some kind of knowledge of using like Facebook Ad Manager, Google Ads, that kind of thing. So you can do like Google Ads, you can do promoted products on like places like Etsy and stuff like that, and your products will show up higher up. Or you could do Facebook ads, Instagram ads. Sometimes I would just promote a post if it's like, say, when I was running a workshop or something, if I wanted that post to reach more people, I would promote the post. But the more information you give Instagram or Facebook, as it is, about who you want to reach, the more likely it is to reach those people. I've had times where I've spent money on ads and it's literally reached no one because I've just kind of left it as vague as possible. And I guess they said this will reach 1,500 people, and it's reached 1,500 people that weren't necessarily interested in what I was advertising. So it gave me no traction from that ad. So know who you're trying to target with your ad, and also the more money, unfortunately, you put behind these things, the more likely they are to be successful. But again, I would recommend you can literally do like as little as like £2.50. So I would recommend starting off with a really low amount and seeing how you get on and seeing if that's something that'd be worthwhile to you. And also think about, you don't want to spend more on your ad than you are likely to get out of it as well. Again, if you're just selling £5 products, make sure that your ad is likely to sell you a lot of £5 products to cover the cost of that ad. If you're selling an item that's £500 and you only need to sell one to cover the cost of your ad, then it's a different story. But yeah, those are just some kind of things to think about when you're thinking about putting some kind of revenue behind your advertising. So lastly, my final point is going to be, what can you offer that your competitors are not offering? that will attract people to your brand. Maybe you plant trees with every order. Maybe you are offering a free gift wrapping service. You know, it can be things like that. And I guess that kind of circles back to being authentic and connecting with your audience. If you are an individual running a brand, let your individuality show through and put your own spin on things. It doesn't matter if there's other brands out there doing the same thing as you, as long as you're not copying each other, because that will always be the case. There will always be hundreds of ice cream brands. There will always be hundreds of makeup brands. It doesn't matter if you're doing the same thing, but what are you doing that's different? And how can you get that across to your customer? And how can you portray that in everything from your customer experience, your experience on your website and things like that? What can you offer that is different? And some of these things may just require you to take a little bit of time, sit down and think about it, and think about your target audience, think about who your competitors are. Take a look at other brands that seem to be doing really well, seem to have a lot of growth. What are they doing well? Are they posting consistently? Are they taking professional images? Are they doing sponsored posts? Are you seeing their ads everywhere? Think about what makes these brands stand out to you and what you can do. And in my last video, I spoke a bit about not needing to spend too much too soon. So if you've just started up, you don't have the budget for these things, then just do what you can. And I'm also going to do another video, I think, on branding, which will kind of cover this as well. Do as much as you can with what you've got, but when your brand starts to grow a little bit and you are getting a bit more money in, then that's when you can invest in things like professional photography, maybe someone to help you make your website more efficient and stuff like that, all of which will help your brand grow. Because the best customer experience you can provide will mean customers repeatedly come back to your brand, and then you'll get things like the repeat sales, which are fantastic. You want, it obviously depends on what you're selling, but you want customers to come back to your site. You want customers to recommend your brand to friends. And also, I should probably say on this point that the numbers do not matter so much. You could have 50,000 Instagram followers, for example, and you could have 1% engagement. It's almost better to have 500 followers that are fully engaged and fully with you than it is to have 5,000 followers that are not there, that are non-existent, that don't see your posts, that are fake accounts, or that you've brought. So the numbers do not always matter, and that is something really important to bear in mind. You can measure your growth through other things such as click-through, sales, etc. And I measure it by sales year on year. I look back and see last February, how many transactions was I doing, how many sales had I made at this point in the month. And that's a good way to measure your growth, especially if you are a business like mine that sells products and obviously you want monetary growth. And really just jump on those times where there are more people online. If your product is great for Valentine's Day, really jump on the marketing in the run-up to key events. So when people are looking for that item, they can be coming straight to your brand. If you are still with me, thank you. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you thought in the comments below, as I would love to know what you think of these sit-down chatty videos. And yeah, if you are trying to grow a brand, good luck. If you have any more tips for anyone else on growth tips, then please pop them in the comments box below. And thank you so much for watching. I'll be back next week with another video. See you then.